I'm sure once my buddy Rob Capel watches this video, he's gonna be laughing his ass off. What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I apologize that I haven't been able to put any new content up. We've been busy planning for our annual rally, so for those of you that actually planned a rally before, you know how much work that is. But anyways, I'm back now, and behind me you can see it's small frame city in the garage today. I've got some small frames there, I've got some engines that I need to build, and of course my two small frames. But today I wanted to show you the new build. This is a 1974 Vespa V90. So this thing is getting a full restoration. Today we're going to tear it all down, get it paint ready, and I just got a call that my Rally 200 is ready. So we're going to drop this off and pick that up, and we continue with that build. So if you guys are ready, let's get to it. All right, a little backstory on this bike. Previous owner decided to paint it with spray can green. The actual original paint is orange. As you can see, I'll start peeling this off, so it's gonna get torn down and then a whole new color change. So yeah, let's start with getting the headset apart. Alright, finally got the headset off. A little bit of a pain because there's so many wires and cables and whatnot. I'm going to go ahead and remove the wiring and the rest of the cables. So to do that, I got to take the tank out. Alright. Okay, so I can't get the rest of the cables out because I believe the rear brake lever is jamming it up right in this area. So I'm going to show you how to take the rear brake lever off because a lot of people have problems removing this, and me included. But yeah, first thing you want to do is remove this rubber cover, okay, because if you don't, this will not go through this little hole. Alright, so next up, you have three bolts. So it's two nuts here and then a bolt on the other end. Once you take those off, you can actually get the brake lever out, but make sure you disconnect it from the engine side and pull it into the frame, which I already have right here. Okay, so I'm gonna try to show you guys live, so let me get you set up real quick. All right, first thing I'm gonna do, remove the two nuts on this side. Bolt actually goes to the top of the frame. This one here is actually a threaded insert into the frame. Let's get that. come right out. Get the rest of these nuts off. Okay. So you gotta remember there's a brake cable attached to this, and also the brake switch. So you gotta have to work it out of there. A little different for me every single time I do this. So let me see here. Okay, so you got pull this back end out first, and then you can swivel the whole thing out. Like I said, there's wires connected to the brake switch right here, and also that rear brake cable is right here. So you can remove this stuff. All right, I'll go ahead and keep disconnecting these, or disconnect the rest of these wires, and then I can get these cables out. Okay, so I've had to pull the cable all the way through the horn cast from the back because I'll show you in a second why I can't pull it down. I'm sure once my buddy Rob Capel watches this video, he's going to be laughing his ass off. So let me show you exactly what it is once I actually get it through this little hole here. Okay, so the whole reason I couldn't get the these cables down through the frame is because this little metal collar here is connecting these things together, and I'm sure the wiring harnesses are running straight through the middle like this down there somewhere. So like I said, my buddy Rob Cable is probably laughing his ass off, but yeah, it is what it is. All right, let's move on. Okay, so that took a little while, but I got all the wiring out of the other side of the frame, the tail light, and now I'm going to disconnect from the engine right here. Just a couple wires, I think 4 to be exact. But yeah, let's get that off real quick, and then we should be able to pull the harness out of the front. Okay, I know I can probably save a lot of time if I was just to cut the wiring and just pull it all out nice and simple without connectors on the end of it. But me being a wiring guy, I like to save wiring harnesses just for, you know, just in case if I need a reference or whatever to repair another bike that has the same harness in it. You know, I can go back and just look at this harness. So yeah, that's why I save them. So that, and I'm a hoarder. But yeah, now that I get everything all disconnected from the back here, I'm gonna go ahead and pull it through the frame up the top, and hopefully it comes out without being destroyed. All right, so it'd be easier if I was to pull the harness through this brake, rear brake lever hole first, and then work it out at the top. So that's what I'm gonna do. Just minimize the chances of destroying this thing. Actually, now that I have it down here, it'd probably be easier if I was to pull down. But let's see. Yeah, maybe. All right, that's what I'm gonna do. Pull down. All right, so I got the entire harness out without destroying it. It was a pain in the butt because this harness actually has provisions for the turn signals and whatnot. So it's more wiring. And I have to admit that I have not removed this kind of harness before. So when we go to install the new one, we're actually getting rid of the turn signals and things like that. So it should be a simplified harness going back into it. All right, let's move on to removing the floor rails. All right, so on to the floor rails. I've mentioned in previous videos that you should try to keep the original ones if you can, because the aftermarket ones suck and they require a lot of fitting to get them to fit right. So these are actually pretty good. So I'm going to drill them out and I'm going to reuse them after the bike's been painted. Okay, as you can see, I've got all the floor rails removed. I'm gonna go ahead and remove this badge right here. Actually, I might put that back on because that's pretty cool. And also the trim here. This will not be going back on because I really don't like it. All right, let's continue. Alright guys, you can see I've got most of the trim off. I got the lock off, it took me a little while. Kickstands off of it. Most of the emblems. This one I still need to just peel that one off. Okay, there you go. And next up really is to detach the engine and also the front end. And oh, I have one more badge back here, gonna pop off. And yeah, it'll be ready for paint, to be honest with you. I was going to go over the body a little bit, maybe try to bang out the little dings and dents here and there. But I'll probably circle all the ones that need to be addressed so my painter can take care of those before he paints it. But yeah, I say we're making pretty good progress. So yeah, let's get the engine out of it next. Okay, as you can see, I've got the engine all taken apart. So this engine's going to get rebuilt completely. You go with a bigger cylinder, 4-speed conversion, electronic ignition, new exhaust, of course, new suspension. So yeah, pretty much anything you can think of, we're probably going to do this motor. But all right, next up, let's go ahead and take the fork off the frame. This is simple, removing these guys here and it'll come right off. all I really need is the body panels right now, and then we can pack it all up and get it to my painter. Alright, as you can see, I've got the fork detached from the frame, and in order to remove this, you have to remove this in order to get the fender off. So yeah, you saw that I was sitting there pretty much tapping on this thing until it came off. A little bit of pain, but unfortunately it's a necessary step. So yeah, well, got that off. Next thing we're going to do is unbolt the fender and get that off. Alright guys, there you have it, a completely stripped down small frame Vespa. You saw throughout the video, I removed the badges, all the trim, floor runners, a lock took me a little while to get off. Steering races, top and the bottom. I removed these little latches on the doors, the front and the rear one. So the headset, I'm not going to reuse the original one because it had a bunch of extra holes in it. For the key, a little light right here, and also had turn signal holes, so we're getting rid of all that stuff. And also had the 3-speed shifter tube, which we won't need because we're gonna, like I said, convert this guy to a 4-speed. So I had this headset laying around. It has the 4-speed marker here, nice and clean, freshly primered. The only thing I saw that it has an extra hole right here. I'm gonna fill that up before I take it to the painters. But yeah, that's going to be it for this guy. As I mentioned, I had to get this thing apart so I can take it to my painters because he just finished my Rally 200. Hopefully we can start back up on that build pretty soon. But before that, Lammy Jammy is in 3 weeks, so hopefully I can get my Jet 200 ready for that event. But yeah, that's going to be it for today's video. If you guys have enjoyed these videos so far, please don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll catch you all next time.